Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. In just a few years, Apple's market value has exceeded $3 trillion, and Cook has also ascended to the throne of marketing genius. However, he never imagined that ranging phase sell before launch and his full technological sincerity, directly breaking the myth of invincibility of Apple products. Although the iPhone's sales in the high-end field are still unmatched, with the return of the Mate 60 series, the entire market position has undergone subtle changes, especially the mysterious Kirin 9000S chip, which directly makes the Biden team's chip rules down the drain. After disassembly and verification in various countries around the world, it has been confirmed that the Mate 60 Pro does not contain any American parts. Bloomberg also stated that the Kirin 9000S chip is at least a 7 nanometers process. However, Japan claimed to have found a loophole, indicating that Huawei only used a special process. Let 14 nanometers chips have 7 nanometers performance. But does it really matter? The more entangled in this problem, the more it shows that Europe, the United States, Japan and South Korea are powerless. No matter how many nanometers of technology, it cannot conceal the fact that China's high-performance chips are independent. Breakthroughs in China's chip technology have also directly changed the pattern of the global chip market. After more than a month of exploration, the Biden team went through the global network data of lithography machines, but still found no clues. They had to put the question of where do Kirin chips come from around the world, and became frustrated. Claim: Huawei's failure to disclose this is disrespecting the United States. Faced with this uneasy feeling, how should Huawei respond? Globally, there are only a handful of manufacturers that can produce 7 nanometers chips. Apart from Samsung and TSMC, only Intel can barely achieve it. Under the chip rules, Samsung and TSMC obviously do not dare to take this risk to help Huawei work, and Intel is even less likely to be so blatant under the eyes of the Biden team. In order to clarify this problem, the United States quietly sent the Mate 60 Pro sold in China to a professional appraisal agency for testing. The final conclusion was quite encouraging. It not only confirmed that Kirin 9000S has reached the 7 nanometers process level, but also has the best network speed. It has reached 5G standards, but researchers are at a loss as to how these closely guarded technologies can return. The United States began to monitor the global chip industry a long time ago, and established a global network for the lithography machines shipped by ASML. All data can be retrieved in real time. However, after more than a month of investigation, the Biden team was completely disgraced. Can only argue, without using American technology, it is impossible for Huawei to independently produce high-end chips. However, after dismantling by professional institutions in various countries, the final conclusion is the same. The Kirin 9000S chip is truly made in China, and the OEM is also a manufacturer in mainland China. The United States is very unfamiliar with this institution. Even though there was no information before, this mystery has not been broken yet. As the only company that has stood firm under the full pressure of the United States, Huawei is not afraid of any threats from the Biden team. It is mainly sailing against the current. Faced with the continued escalating public opinion pressure from the US media, Huawei directly refuses to disclose any chip foundry information. This is also the United States was extremely annoyed and publicly stated, Huawei disrespects the United States by not disclosing chip data. It can be seen from this sentence that the United States has been driven crazy. Respect is based on the principle of equal trade, and the United States has spared no effort to cooperate with its allies to implement a series of suppressive sanctions. It has long been divorced from respect. Both sides seem to be in conflict with each other. It has become a life or death existence. Seeing the United States' furious appearance, China is quite relieved. Japan has closely followed the United States throughout the process. After the Biden team began to question the return process of the Kirin 9000S chip, it claimed to have discovered Huawei's secret. This is not a 7 nanometers process at all, but a special structure. The 14 nanometers process only reaches the corresponding level in terms of performance. It seems quite logical, but it doesn't matter at all. The Mate 60 Pro can be so confident in starting sale before release. Ren Zhengfei naturally has absolute control and confidence in the Kirin 9000S chip. Even if there is really only a 14 nanometers process, the measured performance has already reached 7 nanometers, so it is meaningless to discuss these. The verbal attacks from Europe, the United States, Japan and South Korea will instead become the driving force for Chinese technology companies to move forward, and will further affect the pattern of the global technology industry. The technological game between China and the United States has been fully launched. Chip rules have almost expired. China's chances of winning are also continuing to expand. The new round of blockade on AI chips launched by the United States will only intensify the damage to Sino-US trade relations. If we want to reach a corresponding, the results are impossible. It's time to give up our illusions about the United States and Western countries. Only when an independent industrial system is established can we completely get rid of the stuck predicament. What do you think of this?